Jae Yeon-hae, the girl, is frustrated when suddenly her brother barges into her room and tells her that some people are moving next door to them, and it's a bunch of good-looking guys. Yeon-hae gets shy and excited to meet these men and dreams about being surrounded by a bunch of good-looking men. The next day, Yeon-hae's mother wakes her up for breakfast and threatens to kick her out since she is 23. Her mother heads downstairs and Yeon-hae thinks about the mysterious men she saw yesterday. She searches online for recent murders, but no results show up. While scrolling through the internet, she finds another big news. The famous boy band EXO's member Suho has been injured, so their international tour has been cancelled. Yeon-hae thinks that her friend Giyeon must be in tears now since she's a die-hard EXO fan. Yeon-hae heads downstairs for breakfast, and her mother tells her to deliver their keycard to the new neighbors, as she is the realtor. Yeon-hae insists that her mom or brother should do it, but they both decline. Yeon-hae's mother tells her to either do the task or pay rent. She agrees, and her mother tells her to dress up nicely. Yeon-hae is angry since this isn't an interview or anything. Later, she starts getting ready to meet her new neighbors, goes through a few clothes, and ends up selecting a dress. She notices her new neighbor's van parked outside and heads to hand the card over to them. However, she realizes that her new neighbors aren't that good-looking after all. They are average-looking Korean men. Yeon-hae heads back into her house and into her room, calling herself a fool for expecting too much from her new neighbors. Yeon-hae, 23 years old, has never once dated a man. She turns into a stone in front of men she likes, and her face turns bright red. Once in high school, she called her crush to meet her alone, and when he arrived, she couldn't say a word and turned into a brick. Her crush left her there alone since she wouldn't say a word. Yeon-hae heads downstairs for a snack and watches EXO on her family TV. Her brother joins in annoying her. He notices some men going into their next-door house, also their neighbors. Yeon-hae had told her brother that their new neighbors were really ugly, but by the looks of it, they had an above-average appearance. Her brother glances at the TV, and the members of EXO and their neighbors look alike. Yeon-hae's mother joins in, telling her to deliver rice cakes to their neighbors while they're still warm, as it's customary in Korea to give new neighbors rice cakes. In her comfy clothes, Yeon-hae heads inside her neighbor's house and puts the rice cakes on their table since they don't seem to be home. Intrigued by the smell of the rice cakes, she decides to take a bite when suddenly she starts choking on it. She heads to the fridge and grabs some water to drink when suddenly someone calls upon her. Yeon-hae spits the water out onto the stranger's face, and she recognizes this person. It's none other than an EXO member. She has now realized that her neighbors are, in fact, the members of the famous Korean boy band EXO. The night before the EXO members move in, they head inside their house, which they find quite amazing. A member, Chanyeol, is asked if this house is really his grandparents' since it's so chic and modern. Chanyeol explains to his other members that his parents fixed it up because it was too run down. Sehun speaks up. There aren't any beds, and they are going to arrive the next day. The members wonder what to do now. They sleep on the floor and couch in sleeping bags. Meanwhile, Chanyeol thinks about his grandfather. The next day, 2 of the members move in some boxes and wake the others up. They smell something good coming from the kitchen and wonder if their manager has brought something to eat. When they are almost there, they see a weird girl drinking water from their fridge, and it's Yeon-hae. Chanyeol goes up to confront her and ask what she is doing in his grandfather's house, but even before he can speak, Yeon-hae spits her water out from her mouth. Her face goes bright red, and she runs back into her room after telling her brother that their neighbors are EXO. She calls her friend Giyeon and tells her that EXO has moved next to her. Giyeon doesn't believe Yeon-hae for a second, but instantly calls a taxi and heads towards Yeon-hae's home. There, Giyeon meets Yeon-hae, who is hiding binoculars behind herself. Giyeon has brought another pair of binoculars with her to look at the EXO members. As the duo looks at the EXO members, they can't believe their eyes. The members' jawlines are so sharp that they could cut paper, and their facial proportions are unrealistic. Yeon-hae is also fawning over them, but remembers her embarrassing moment of spitting water out onto Chanyeol's face. Yeonhae's mother walks in on the duo spying on the EXO members. Yeonhae's mother tells Giun to go back to her home, and she asks Yeonhae what she did since her face is all red again. Yeonhae ignores the questions and asks her mom why she keeps sending their new neighbors stuff. She asks her mom if she knows what the people living next to them do for a living. Yeonhae is suspicious since her mother wouldn't give just anyone grandfather Chan's home. Yeonhae's mother tells her to stop pestering her and clean up her room since it's a mess. This means one thing. Yeonhae is the only one who knows that one of the most famous boy bands in the world is living next to her home. Meanwhile, in the EXO house, they talk to Kai, another member, on a video call. Sehun keeps asking Kai if there are any pretty girls where he is right now. Kai asks the members how they're doing, and they respond that it's boring. Kai says that he's also itching to dance again, and he will be back after meeting his parents. The members wave Kai goodbye. Simultaneously, Yeonhae is still using her binoculars to spy on the EXO members, and the members have realized that Yeonhae was spying on them. They thought she would be harmless and come up with a plan. They act as if they are kissing each other to throw off Yeonhae. She is taken aback as she didn't expect such a provocative scene. As they close their blinds, Dio, a member, waves at Yeonhae to let her know that they are aware she is spying on them. Chanyeol comes downstairs to the commotion, and the members ask him why they brought them to this house. He reveals that he lost something here, something special, he says, as he opens the blinds and looks Yeonhae dead in the eyes. Yeonhae has a nightmare about Chanyeol since he looked her straight in the eyes the night before. She is moving in her sleep, and her mother and brother look at her. Her brother senses that something happened last night. Meanwhile, at the EXO house, they are having a lavish breakfast that the youngest member made for them to enjoy. Baekhyun brings up Yeonhae and asks the members if they think she will go running around town telling everyone that they live here. He contemplates telling their manager, but Dio tells him not to worry since if she were to talk, it wouldn't be so peaceful right now. Chanyeol tells the members that Yeonhae is not bold enough to blab, especially not after what she did. The members ask Chanyeol if he knows Yeonhae personally, and he says that he doesn't. Chanyeol alerts the members that someone is coming over to clean their house. Meanwhile, Yeonhae is angry and asks her mother why she has to clean their home and that she can't go no matter what. She asks her mother why she has to clean their house and do their laundry. Yeonhae's mother has no mercy, and she tells her daughter that this is not a favor but an order. She tells her daughter that she's going to get paid a lot. Yeonhae thinks about last night and tells her mom that she won't be cleaning their house no matter what. Her mother threatens to rent Yeonhae's room, yet again. Yeonhae tells her mother that she will do anything but clean their house, but her mother is persistent. She gives the home's key card to Yeonhae and tells her not to talk to the guys there and go in the morning since there won't be anybody at that time. She tells her daughter to pretend the members are invisible even if they are present. Also, Yeonhae isn't allowed in the rightmost room on the second floor. Giun cheers Yeonhae up and tells her to clean their house well. Yeonhae tells Giun that she got busted for using the binoculars as well by the members. Switching scenes to Yeonhae's brother, he's out on a walk with his coat hanger to practice his martial arts. There, he meets a member of EXO walking. Yeonhae's brother demonstrates his skills in front of Sehun. Sehun walks up to Yeonhae's brother and asks him where the coffee shop is since he wants drip coffee. Yeonhae's brother realizes that this is the first time someone has asked him for help and wonders what drip coffee means. Sehun explains to the brother what drip coffee means, but the brother doesn't know. Yeonhae's brother takes Sehun into his tent where he grinds coffee beans and makes really good coffee. Sehun hopes to make a good friend with Yeonhae's brother. At the EXO house, Yeonhae starts to clean after gathering her supplies, reminiscing about Giun teaching her how to do it. Yeonhae's mother gets a call from EXO's manager asking her if the new maid is trustworthy, and she reassures him that the new maid is, in fact. Yeonhae's mother chose her daughter because she's trustworthy. At the EXO house, Yeonhae sniffs Baekhyun's clothes and goes crazy over the scent. She picks up a hat which is Dio's and makes a video with it. As she makes her way up the house to clean, she is about to open the door she was forbidden to, but she thinks that she shouldn't as she must respect the members' privacy. She does their laundry and cleans their masks. She finds them familiar. These are the same masks the men were wearing whom she encountered outside the convenience store. She thinks about the girl, Matilda, the boys were talking about, and goes to find her inside the house, but she is met with a guitar engraved with the name Matilda on it. She wonders who the hell names their guitars white female names. Suddenly, she sees a roach and tries to kill it, but she messes up the room in the process. As she is about to put an end to the roach's life, someone walks into the room. It's Chanyeol. He asks Yeon Hai what she is doing in his room, and she is standing there speechless. He screams at Yeon Hai to get out of his room. As she goes outside the house, she squats and is full of sorrow, but another member Do comforts her by putting his jacket over her and giving her things back. Yeon Hai turns beet red trying to explain that she didn't mean to go into his room. Chanyeol walks downstairs to hand Yeon Hai her phone since it was left in his room, but he doesn't go any further because he sees that she is with Do. A while ago, after finishing a concert, Chanyeol's necklace falls to the ground and it ends up breaking. But he's taken aback when he hears the news that his grandfather has died. Chanyeol reminisces moments with his grandfather and when he handed the same necklace over to him when he was a kid. Chanyeol's grandfather tells him that he will be a world-renowned star. From that day onwards, misfortunes kept finding Chanyeol. Chanyeol isn't at peace because of that red-cheeked girl, Yeon Hai. Meanwhile, Yeon Hai keeps calling her phone and thinks that she has lost it and thinks about where she had left it. Chanyeol goes through her phone and thinks that she doesn't have any difference from season Tdeokbokki since it's bright red. As he looks at her pictures, he sees a notification. It's Gion. She texts Yeon Hai asking her if she's doing well as a newlywed woman for EXO. Chanyeol, who has the phone, texts Gion that it's not right to pry into people's personal lives. After some back and forth, Chanyeol tells Gion to alert the owner of her phone to come get it. Later, Yeon Hai cries and wonders what to do. She decides to sneak into Chanyeol's room and take her phone back with her. But Chanyeol gets out of the shower and catches her. He asks her if she knows who he is, not as a member of EXO but someone else.